I scored band 8.5 on IELTS Speaking twice, and here's the secret. Simply speaking isn't enough to impress the IELTS examiner. You need to show the examiner that your English is advanced. In this video, I'll reveal 9 powerful tips you must know to achieve a band 7 or higher. By the end, you'll know exactly how to apply them in your speaking test. If you want to achieve the IELTS score you need, check out our IELTS courses. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high, so you'll feel confident on test day. Just click on the link in the description. And now, let's get started. Let's start with tip number 1, which is absolutely critical for Band 7+. Answering complete sentences. Many IELTS questions can be answered with just one word. For instance, if the IELTS examiner asks you whether you enjoy cooking, you could simply say yes. However, this doesn't showcase your English skills. You need to prove you can build proper sentences and use varied vocabulary. Therefore, always respond with full grammatically correct sentences. Instead of just yes, say yes. I really enjoy cooking because it allows me to be creative. This complete sentence demonstrates your grammar knowledge while answering the question effectively. Tip number 2 is essential. Always elaborate and provide support for your answers. Give reasons for your opinions or provide examples that illustrate your points. This shows you can speak for a longer time, which is vital for higher band scores. For example, if the examiner asks you about family traditions, you might say this: yes, my family maintains several cultural traditions. But this answer is incomplete. You should add supporting details. For instance, during New Year celebrations, we always prepare special dumplings together. This tradition has been passed down through 3 generations, and it brings our entire extended family together for meaningful conversations. Do you see how the example develops the topic naturally? This ensures you fully answer the question and give you the opportunity to showcase your vocabulary and grammar range. Aim for 2 to 3 additional sentences after stating your main point. If you speak too long, the examiner will interrupt you. That's perfectly normal and better than giving 1-sentence responses. Tip number 3 is crucial to understand. There are no wrong answers in IELTS speaking. You won't lose points for choosing one opinion over another. The examiner doesn't care about your personal beliefs or whether your examples are impressive. You also won't be penalized for giving obvious examples. You don't need to be original or creative with your content. The purpose of IELTS speaking is demonstrating your ability to communicate ideas clearly and support your viewpoints. Don't worry about what the examiner thinks of your opinions. This worry can distract you and hurt your performance. Focus on how clearly you express your thoughts. If you're asked about a topic you have no experience with, it's perfectly fine to invent details. The examiner only cares about your English skills, not whether every detail is factually accurate. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like, and subscribe. We only make videos if we see that you enjoy watching them. Now, let's continue with 6 more tips that can help you score Band 7+ in IELTS speaking. Tip number 4 is to use a variety of grammar and vocabulary. Your score depends heavily on demonstrating English proficiency, including grammar complexity and lexical range. If every sentence follows the same pattern and uses identical vocabulary, you're not displaying your full capabilities. Try to vary your sentence structures and avoid repetitive word choices. Here's an example of repetitive language. My hometown has many parks. The parks are very beautiful. People visit the parks daily. The parks have walking trails. Notice how every sentence uses subject-verb-object structure. The word parks appears 4 times, showing limited vocabulary range. Here's how you could improve this answer. My hometown boasts numerous beautiful parks that residents visit regularly for their scenic walking trails. I combined multiple ideas into one complex sentence using a relative clause. That residents visit regularly for their scenic walking trails. I replaced repetitive words with synonyms like boasts instead of has and residents instead of people. Now that we've talked about advanced vocabulary, here's a warning. Only use words and expressions you can use confidently. It's true that complex vocabulary and idioms demonstrate that your English is advanced. However, if you use them incorrectly, your band score will go down. It's better to give a simple, accurate answer than a complex one filled with errors. Only use advanced language that you're completely comfortable with. Tip number 6 is about hedging language. It makes your speech sound more natural and nuanced. Hedges are words like generally, typically, or approximately that soften statements and prevent you from sounding overly definitive. For instance, instead of saying, all students in my country study English, try, most students in my country study English. The hedge, most, makes your statement more accurate and natural. You can also begin sentences with phrases like, I believe, or it seems to me that. These expressions show you're offering your perspective rather than stating absolute facts. Here's tip number 7, which many candidates overlook. Maintain eye contact with the IELTS examiner throughout the test. Don't stare at your hands, the table, or the floor while speaking. Looking up is essential for 2 important reasons. First, looking up ensures your words are crisp and easy to understand. This is extremely important because if the examiner can't understand you clearly, your band score will go down. The second reason eye contact matters is politeness. Think about meeting someone new on a bus or in a cafe. When they ask about your country or experiences, you naturally make eye contact while responding. That's exactly the appropriate tone for IELTS speaking. Look at the examiner and speak politely as you would with any person you're meeting for the first time. Tip number 8 addresses something inevitable: making mistakes during your test. Everyone makes errors, including native speakers, especially when nervous. If you make a mistake and notice it, correct yourself. This actually shows the IELTS speaking examiner that you do know the correct way to say it. And that's a good thing. For example, you might say, my family prepares traditional bread. Sorry, I mean traditional cakes for special celebrations. This type of natural self-correction won't hurt your score as long as you don't do it excessively. You can also pause briefly to recall the right word. My family prepares traditional, pastries for celebrations. Avoid meaningless sounds like and don't use filler words from your native language. Remember, you must demonstrate English proficiency throughout the entire test. Finally, tip number 9 is about accents. Your natural accent is completely acceptable. Everyone speaks with some accent variation, and this is perfectly normal and expected. Don't try to fake an American or British accent. This sounds unnatural and actually makes your speech harder to understand. Speak in your natural voice. The IELTS examiners are trained to understand various accents. Focus on clear communication. Organize your ideas logically using linking words. Choose appropriate vocabulary and correct grammar patterns. Speak clearly and at a reasonable pace. As long as you're understandable, your accent won't affect your score. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their IELTS score too. See you in the next video!